Welcome back to our channel. Today is an absolutely beautiful day. The sun is shining, but honestly, I am inside because I am literally vibrating with so much energy. I can barely type this out. Seriously, grab a snack, sit down, and brace yourselves because we have to talk right now and I am not holding anything back. Oh my god. I'm screaming. I was eating dinner and literally choked on my food, had to pause everything, put my fork down, and text my friend immediately because I cannot even deal right now. Okay, but listen. You know how we are always talking about who is staying, who is leaving, who is getting fired, who is walking away from Port Charles forever? Well, stop everything you are doing because the news just dropped and my jaw dropped to the floor so hard it actually hurts. Nancy Lee Grahn. Alexis Davis herself. The absolute legacy legend, the polarizing queen of General Hospital. She is staying, and she is not just staying for a little bit, she just re-signed her contract for 3 more years. 3 full years. I am literally shaking because this is massive news, and honestly, I have so many feelings about it that are just completely all over the place. Wait, let me back up because I am typing so fast my hands are literally cramping and I am making typos like crazy. Honestly, if you know anything about General Hospital, you know that it really does not matter if you love Nancy Lee Grahn or if you absolutely loathe her. Because one thing is for certain, you cannot ignore her. You literally cannot. She is an institution at this point. She has been playing Alexis Davis for decades. Decades. Do you know how much trauma Alexis has been through in decades? And Nancy has acted every single second of it with her whole chest. But let's be real, the actress herself is just as dramatic, if not more dramatic, than the character she plays, which is insane, by the way, because Alexis has literally been held hostage, disbarred, thrown in jail, and Nancy's real life still gives it a run for its money. Oh wait, before that happened, actually, I forgot to mention earlier, but there was so much speculation lately. Like, so much rumors going around that Nancy might be alienating some General Hospital viewers. Because let's be honest, she does not hold back. She is unhinged in the best and worst ways, depending on who you ask. She has made some incredibly controversial comments online in the past. And people were like, oh, the network is going to let her go. She is making too many waves. The fans are mad. They are going to write her out. But nope. She secured the bag. 3 years. I am dead. I cannot breathe. The audacity of this woman to just secure a massive contract while half the internet is yelling at her to retire. Iconic. Truly, actually iconic behavior. And don't even get me started on that. Her online presence is a whole other soap opera. She has made it so abundantly clear that if you are someone who does not agree with her point of view, she is going to waste 0 time shutting you out. She will literally block you before you can even finish typing your reply. She has done it before, and mark my words, she will do it again. She does not care. She is like, this is my page, these are my opinions, goodbye to you and your family. Which, honestly, I kind of respect the boundary setting, but also it is so dramatic to just watch her timeline turn into an absolute battlefield every single day. I was scrolling the other day and I was like, are you serious? She is going off again. Let's talk about the political stuff, because that is where the real drama is, and why everyone is always in a tizzy. Back in May, Nancy literally went online and said that the best candidate for the presidency in the entire country right now is California Governor Gavin Newsom. She just put it out there. Boom. No hesitation. And obviously the internet exploded. People were losing their minds in the comments. And while not everyone might agree with her, when Nancy believes in something, she is truly going to do everything she can to convince everyone that she is right. She will fight you in the digital streets. She is so fiercely opinionated. And then earlier in the year, she declared that she was physically sick. Like, literally, physically. Why? Because she is no fan of the latest member to be appointed to President Donald Trump's cabinet, Markwayne Mullin. She just blasted him. She was like, nope, this makes me sick, I am unwell. The drama, the absolute theater of it all. At this point, I'm yelling at my screen. Nancy, please, you are on a soap opera. You do not need to make your real life a soap opera too. But she does. She needs to get it together, I swear. But also, I never want her to change because she keeps me so entertained. Okay, where was I? Right, so the contract, according to Michael Fairman TV, she did this interview and she was so sweet about it, which is such a wild contrast to her fierce Twitter persona. She literally put it this way. She said, I just re-signed my contract another 3 years, and I'm so grateful for this part of my life. I am crying. That is actually really sweet and genuine. She is grateful. But then I remember she is probably going to log on to social media in 5 minutes and block 50 people for disagreeing with her about Gavin Newsom, and I just start laughing hysterically. It is the duality of Nancy Lee Grahn. She is a grateful soap legend and a ruthless internet warrior, all at the exact same time. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, let's talk about what this means for Alexis Davis, because I am so emotionally invested in this fictional lawyer, it is actually embarrassing. 3 more years of Alexis means 3 more years of absolute chaos in Port Charles. Have you seen what she is dealing with right now in the show? I need to rant about this because it is stressing me out so badly. She's currently defending Curtis Ashford because Isaiah Gannon is suing him, and Curtis's plea deal hopes are completely fading away. Alexis is trying to keep this man out of Steinmauer, and it is causing so much stress. And Trina is crumbling. She is literally setting boundaries to stay away from her parents' drama, and Alexis is right in the middle of the legal mess. Why would he do that? Why would Curtis put himself in this position? And Alexis has to clean it up. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier, but she is also dealing with Ethan Lovett. Ethan is running around Port Charles, claiming he's the father of baby Phoebe from a one-night stand with the late Delilah Wilson, and Alexis is handling the legal side of it. But we all know Ethan broke into the PCPD and faked that DNA test with Elizabeth. He stole cold case evidence. And Alexis is just sitting there taking his confession, completely unaware that he is running a massive con and that Ava Jerome is blackmailing him. I am yelling at my screen every time they have a scene. Alexis, you are supposed to be smart. Figure it out. But now we have 3 more years for her to figure it out, so I guess there is no rush. And don't even get me started on Drew Kane. Drew literally fell into the Metro Court pool because his paralytic wore off and he lost his balance, which is insane by the way. I literally choked on my water watching that scene, and Gio Palmieri had to save him. But the second Drew is saved, he goes right back to being an absolute cad and starts tormenting Alexis again. He is tormenting her. And Alexis just marches right up to Willow Kane and tells her straight to her face that she knows Willow is guilty of Jordan's hit and run. The audacity. Not okay. I'm done. But also, I live for it. Alexis is just inserting herself into everyone's drama, telling Willow she is guilty, fighting with Drew, defending Curtis, taking Ethan's fake confessions. It is a full-time job being Alexis Davis. And what about Rick Lansing? My jaw dropped when Molly Lansing Davis started freaking out to Cody Bell about how her parents are thawing and might have a romantic reunion. A romantic reunion between Alexis and Rick? I'm calling it now. This is going to end badly. Mark my words, if Alexis and Rick get back together, it is going to be a toxic disaster, and I will be seated with popcorn for every single second of it. Molly is weirded out. I am weirded out. We are all weirded out. But Nancy Lee Grahn acting opposite Rick again for the next 3 years? Give her the Emmy. Give her all the Emmys. Seriously, their chemistry is always so unhinged. Okay, I am getting distracted by side details. Spend too much time thinking about Rick Lansing, and you literally lose your mind. Back to the main story. Nancy Lee Grahn is staying. 3 years, 2026 to 2029. We are going to have Alexis Davis on our screens for nearly the rest of the decade. I was texting my friend and I was like, do you realize how many more times Alexis is going to get disbarred and reinstated in 3 years? Probably at least 4 times. It is a cycle, and I am here for it. I am so here for it. I literally cannot imagine Port Charles without her storming around in a blazer yelling at someone. So far, Nancy herself has not made any additional comments about the matter on her own pages, at least not that I have seen, because I am typing this so fast I haven't refreshed my feed in like 10 minutes. But you know she will. She is probably drafting a tweet right now that will somehow tie her contract renewal to a political debate, and I am just bracing myself for the impact. I am literally bracing myself. That said, we will definitely update you with all of the latest details once they come in, because this story is far from over and Nancy always has more to say. Always. Honestly, just thinking about the stamina it takes to be on a soap opera for decades and still have the energy to fight with trolls online, I am exhausted just going to the grocery store. Nancy is built different. She is actually built different. You have to respect the hustle, even if her opinions make you want to throw your phone across the room. She is a survivor. She survived the Cassadines. She survived Julian Jerome. She survived getting run over, poisoned, kidnapped, and she is surviving the modern internet. Queen behavior, Unapologetic queen behavior. I can't even deal right now. I need to go lie down and process this. 3 more years. The fandom is going to be so split. Half the viewers are probably throwing a huge party, and the other half are probably writing angry letters to ABC demanding they cancel her. But you know what? That is exactly what makes her a soap legend. If everyone loved you, you would be boring. And Nancy Lee Grahn is a lot of things, but she is absolutely, positively, 100% not boring. She is the moment. She is the drama, and we are stuck with her in the best way possible. Wait, did I mention how she said she was physically sick over Mark Wayne Mullen? I know I did, but I just keep thinking about the phrase physically sick. Like, she didn't just disagree with the political appointment, she let it affect her gastrointestinal system. That is investment. That is passion. I wish I was that passionate about literally anything. I am just passionate about General Hospital and telling you guys about it. Which is why I am sitting here typing a massive novel about a contract renewal when I should be doing my laundry. And honestly, when you really look at the grand scheme of things, who else could pull off this level of constant drama? Nobody. Literally nobody. The daytime television landscape is constantly shifting. People are getting written off left and right, but Nancy just plants her feet and says, "Nope, I am staying right here." It is honestly inspiring in a very chaotic way. I am going to be watching her on my screen until 2029, and I just know she is going to give us some of the most memeable, crazy, intense scenes of her entire career. Mark my words, this next chapter of Alexis Davis is going to be one for the history books. Okay, I seriously need to wrap this up before my keyboard breaks from hitting the keys too hard. But seriously, drop your thoughts below. Are you screaming? Are you crying? Are you throwing up? Are you physically sick like Nancy? Let me know, because I am just sitting here in a state of pure shock and awe. 3 years of Alexis Davis. 3 years of Twitter blocks. 3 years of unapologetic, unhinged, iconic Nancy Lee Grahn. I am so ready. I am so ready. Goodbye for now, but I will be back the second she tweets something crazy.